You're killing me, YouTube. Oh, that's all the end. Okay, good. I'm not going to be singing it. No, my brain knows it's over. Are we ready? I can say the words.
I'm ready. Mikey?
Yeah. I'm still fixing an issue, I'm sorry. So
How long do you need?
I have no idea.
Oh. Okay.
Is this a work in progress?
Kinda. My browser has decided that when I open it, it is not visible on my screen whatsoever.
Ew.
Oh, no.
Like, it's open and I can't find it to move it. And I can't even maximize it at the moment because it's just not visible.
Oh,
You get drugged to
do
the
you have
side
your
or something?
second monitor connected?
When I connected the second monitor, it disappeared. So now I'm trying to find. I'm going through some troubleshooting right now, so I can hear, but I'm not going to be able to see my character sheet for a few. I'm working on it.
Oh shit! Oh shit! This is awesome. How do I save this? I need to save this because as soon as I touch anything else, it's gonna go away because they removed it from the website.
Oh, shit. Can you screen cap it? Or is it bigger than that?
Here.
That's my grande.
Page screenshot. Here we go. Yes,
Okay.
I love that.
Gotcha, you bitch. All right,
Yeah, Mike, you fixed
You
it.
good? All right, cool.
found it.
Dan, doing good?
Did all right. Trying to
Perfect.
do some
Trivy?
odds and cents.
Tribby is ready as well. Perfect. All right. Sam, you can go ahead and count us in.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, Fidelio.
And how long has Tribby been recording? That's what the main question of tonight is. Who knows? We'll find out.
Before we
We'll
head
find
into-
out next week when it posts.
Is that the real one quick thing? As everyone takes a bet?
No. That should be, though. So, for tonight's one quick thing, what is your character's favorite candy? We need something light and fluffy for the night. So, beginning with Lolly, what's your character's favorite candy?
Vanilla halfling candy. The
Vanilla
chewy
halfling
kind, not the hard kind.
Chewy vanilla candies from the halflings. Got it. All right.
Ooh.
Jyotis, what's your favorite kind of candy?
It's a nut cluster thing that the Islanders make. It's coconut flakes with honey and vanilla bean, and then it's made into a cake, and then there's like almonds and nuts and put salted toasted almonds on it, and then it's covered in chocolate, and it's called Cocoa Cocoa.
Cocoa.
That sounds nuts. All right. Latham,
Looks like this.
what's your favorite kind of candy?
Depends on the day, but I'd say I really like the atomic fireballs. Black licorice, just classic black licorice is nice too.
What's an atomic?
Is that the thing you had in the
Very specific. It's a very explosive spell.
That's not the drink you had in the
It's when Taco
Bizarre,
Bell is your
bizarre.
Is it
sorcerer.
an emergency?
Bizarre.
Hey, Gary, what's your favorite candy?
The Cocoa Cocoa is quite possibly my favorite thing ever.
Okay.
Mm.
2 fans of the Cocoa Cocoa. And Lestrin, what's your favorite candy?
Cinnamon hard candy.
I thought it was going to be rock candy, and I was in the wrong. I'm clearly racist about dwarves here. So,
I'm rather partial to rock candy, but I prefer the cinnamon flavored ones.
Yeah, too gritty.
amazing. So, with that, as of our last adventure 2 weeks ago, it began with Lolly coming to terms with telling you the truth about the lighthouse and immediately torch passing it to Fairness, who tried to tell everything he knew about it. Jyotis actually kind of stuck up for Lolly and was like, wow, why didn't you want to tell us that you basically helped save the city? And that was fun. Afterwards, Lolly chose to spend the night doing some dishes and helping Fairness to try to make any sort of money. In the morning, Gary and Latham went to go find some people to actually get some cargo for us. But before that, Jyotis and Latham inspected the ship, making sure it was ready. It was, but there had been news about lightning elementals floating nearby it, too, during the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Then we split off to Latham and Gary, who go to basically fill the cargo on the ship. They coordinate with Echo, and they meet a new halfling contact, who is a smuggler that helped get them some more valuable cargo going through Westward. On the one hand, they make more money from this, but on the other hand, it might get caught. So there is a little bit of a gambit with this, but it could be very rewarding. They do a small portion of cargo for that, so not everything is illicit materials. Moving on, Lestrin and Lolly go to pick up Lolly's magic item that Gary had so hard negotiated for. Lolly is given the stay in the car speech, whereas Lestrin goes in to actually pick up the blanket. Lestrin does succeed in picking up the blanket and attempts to con the Dejani into giving them the rest of Lolly's stuff. It is not returned. It was a good try, though.
So close.
We confirm that Lestrin is not as tall as he was last week. And then Lestrin and Lolly reattune the blanket with an impromptu child's parade. That is not how dwarves work. Finishing up with all of our basic materials, Lolly regathers her spellcasting component supplies, and Lestrin helps her get a new set of bagpipes. Jyotis continues working on Lolly's leg, finishing it the next morning just before they get sent out on the... No, I'm sorry. They go out on the boat and Jyotis finishes it on the boat. Yeah. This boat is not quite as big as the Irontide, but it did not have a submersible attached to it, but it was still an ironclad. The dwarven team that you met with was mostly tasked... Excuse me, my voice is doing a thing because of my stupid sinuses. The dwarven team is led by Doyle, who gave you all a briefing on what we're doing. The team collectively elected to all work together, which means that you have basically some extra dwarves on hand traveling with you into this very dangerous place. The explosives were split between Jyotis and one of the dwarven diver members. Someone that looked like his beard had been exploded in the past.
Dwarven diver.
Everyone was equipped with water-breathing capabilities in addition to their dive suits. All of you went under, and we then began the long descent down to the shelf. During that time, you encountered a rather large force of undead merfolk that looked like their bodies had been augmented and spliced with metal components and various things that were not just of undeath. Later, you even found a pure platinum ingot that had apparently been located in one. At the base, you narrowly avoided another encounter with more what appeared to be undead forces through some clever use of ink to simulate a squid passing by. You then arrived at the brain core. Oh, we lost Brit. You arrived at the brain coral base of operations, at which point Latham and Jyotis snuck forward to go do some reconnaissance on the top entrance. It was determined there that this entrance had some weird capability where it would start to open whenever Jyotis reached the door. And we didn't test it with just Latham because, well, you're more survivable than brave. At which point you narrowly avoided the squid in returning back to come back to everyone else. It was given as a hint that the squid had changed its patrol pattern. It did not directly detect you, but there may have been some indirect detection there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, with that, we left off with Jyotis and Latham getting back to explain that they think that it'll open for Jyotis. That's where we left off.
That's it.
That's Bob's good enough summary.
Hey.
I appreciate that.
I give myself a point of inspiration, but I don't need it.
Does that work on NPCs?
Or monsters.
Yikes. So guys, Latham and I determined that the door up there seems to be programmed to something that meshes with some of my DNA. Because when I reached for the door, it opened. And I have been called a deep lurker before by others that didn't know me, so that might be part of it.
So are we going in that way then?
Well, it literally opens. If I can hold my arm or stay by the door, I think it'll stay open for me if I just stay there, and then you can all sneak in.
How long since Squidward has passed by?
We just avoided him on the way back here, so
So you've got probably about another 20-minute rotation before it passes by again.
yeah.
20 Minuten.
So, if you are all going towards that entrance, I will need a collective group stealth check to reach it.
Oh, yeah.
And I will roll for the dwarves.
Oh, good.
See how those
Is
roll
there
are.
something I can do to help Lestern with the huge armor?
Again,
I don't-
it's
I
not
don't
a
have
disadvantage
disadvantage,
underwater.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's okay. I rolled an 18 on the dice. A dirty 20.
You're fine. I rolled a 3.
Oh no.
I'm still setting up my dice tower after the fight with my browser window, so I'll be just a moment.
Let them fight.
Any guesses to what the dice roll was, Bob?
19.
19.
That was mine.
Nice.
It was 19.
19 on the die.
Well, looks like Latham, Jyotis, and Lestrin have done quite well for themselves.
You said stealth?
Yeah.
I got 17.
Okay, Gary's done quite well also. All right, which means that enemy checks will be not at advantage because you've had 2 failures, but multiple successes. So,
Cool. Skill check.
so there will be an enemy check. All right, on your swim, Jyotis and Latham, since you two have been there before and kind of timed it and watched the squid change its timing, you kind of adapt this time, and you can only go at a half pace when stealth, but you still are guiding everyone in and keeping them well above what you can now, with your passive perceptions on the second pass, get to be and tell that those look like shoal shells. They look large, crab to lobster folk like, and they appear in stasis, but you know that if you got close enough you would find out whether they were or not. But this time you go a little bit closer to that entrance and then come up over the coral, landing up on top of the deep lurker entrance, and you make it in perfect timing. The squid has not changed its directions again. It does not seem to have detected a secondary presence.
Yay. Alright. So, if we're all at the door, Jyotis is gonna swim on up to it and hold his arm out to it. Does it?
It
slide-
unlocks again and begins to open.
Does it actually slide open, or do I have to kind of move like into it?
It is more like portcullis, where it basically, you can hear it unlock and the latch opens, but much like the submarine latch, it just partially opens, where you have to open it the rest of the way and then close it behind you.
Okay.
Whether you
So-
want to leave it open or closed is up to you.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to open it
We need to
and
get
then
most of
like
that.
motion everybody to get the fuck in.
Latham moves quickly in.
Yeah.
Dive.
Big squids are not something he can talk to. So
I'll go first. I'm not
Oh.
squishy.
Okay, well, let's go to
You-
the detail map then. So, I need to set up this map.
Hola. No.
2 seconds.
No es tuyo. No.
Oof. Go
Good music.
shared party vision on.
trying to broadcast.
Party
but I can't quite
vision.
get Discord
Ooh.
to play nice.
Party vision.
And then we're going to go characters, and we are going to add party to area, indicated area here.
Allí.
Latham had indicated that he was going up front, as did Lestrin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of placing you guys in here into the area right now.
Okay.
Jyotis, I assume you're taking the rear to hold that door open?
I'll hold the door open and then I will shut it.
Okay. All right. So the dwarves arrive. You arrive into an underwater cove that has very little ambient light. This is naturally carved out coral. You can tell because the walls are porous, almost to a jagged extent. There is low light in this area, so even Gary can actually see decently well because some of the algae has some ambient light flickering off of it. There is a silence here, one that just permeates as the lights from what Lolly had cast on Gary and what little lights and accoutrements come from your magic items that are on the door, on the armor, slowly fall into this tunnel. Lestrin's sword glows in its sheath, just ever so slightly.
Ooh, spooky.
Jyotis, the smell in here is of death. It reeks of death. And everyone else has their mouth covered. Everyone else is in a helmet, but you can smell and taste death.
Yeah. Isn't Lolly water breathing right now too?
No, Lolly's in the suit.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
not in the suit. I cast water
I
breathing on myself.
I thought you cast. Yeah, I thought you did the water breathing thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun! Lolly, make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Morph. Why did I
Well,
talk? Okay, dirty 20 on that one.
You're fine. It is disgusting. It certainly gets into your senses, and you too can taste it. With yours and Latham's passive perceptions, you can see small things like tiny hermit crabs and fish that are just moving throughout the coral, existing naturally.
And I'm gonna relay to Garret and both Garret and Doyle like the sensations that I'm getting, like the death and the smell, like as briefly as possible in hand signals.
Well, and again, you can communicate, but it's at half range on what your voice goes in underwater. So, except for the Aquan language, that's what it's actually designed for.
Cool.
But
None of us speak that yet.
No. But when you go to close the latch, when the latch closes, Jyotis, a voice rings out. And this is in deep speech, so you are the only one that can grasp this, but it has a raspy, almost serpentine quality to it. Lurkers, bring me any of the living subjects of high intellect to the central chamber. Put the rest in processing with the Chol. Do not bring any surface dweller to the bone pit. Do not play with the Quartka.
Can I respond and do speech?
Sure, what would you like to say?
Like, yes, master.
You hear nothing back. And Gary, Latham and Jyotis can roll an Arcana check.
Ooh.
And Lolly, actually. I'll let Lolly in on this.
Arcana.
Lollipop,
Dice.
lollipop, oh, lolly, lolly,
14
lolly,
on your
lollipop.
22.
Oh my
10.
gosh. 27.
Yeah, okay. So, Latham and Gary, you just hear this scary, deep voice that's... The deep speech of Mordor welcomes you to Ventress Soda Farm.
They
Right.
sound friendly.
Lolly, you hear it, and it rattles you a little, but you start to understand that this is a spell. Specifically, this is one that just leaves a message with a trigger. And it's not an interactive spell.
Damn it.
And Jyotis, you know, right after thinking about it for a second, of like, oh, that's Magic Mouth.
Mm-hmm. But before that,
No,
Lolly would have heard me do the same speech.
yeah.
Jyotis,
Lolly.
why are you talking to the literal ball?
I thought it was an interactive spell. My bad.
What did it tell you?
It told us what to do with our captured land folk. It said to bring some to the bring them all to the central chamber, and don't play with the fish, and don't play with the.
Did it say that?
It said something like that.
I'm going to post what it said.
I mean, I'm going to trust what he says.
This is like your buddy saying, "Oh yeah, I speak German," and then they launch into like propaganda quotes from the 1940s. You're like,
Yikes. Yeah,
I mean,
that's
if
what
he
it
wants to
said.
tell me stuff that's not quite accurate, it's
Again,
reasonable, given like
I
what
don't want to
Latham has said in the
necessarily
past.
put it. I don't necessarily want to put it on the player of like, oh, did you write down everything I said? Well, fuck you.
I
But
was going to, but I didn't get that far.
and literally, Jyotis, with your passive intelligence, you would know that if you misunderstood, you could just open and close the door again, and you'd hear it again.
That's true.
He's a wise one.
Do I see him do that?
I'm gonna roll and see if that happened. It did not happen because my dice rolled a 19.
That's all it can roll. It's like, I have only one number and I must scream.
Ich kann mit einem Eierlöffel Fledermäuse töten.
Right.
That's way too gentle. Okay.
Yeah.
So bring subjects of high intellect to the central chamber and put to rest in prisoner processing with the troll. Do not bring any surface dweller to the bone pit, wherever
Let's
the
go to
fuck
the
those
bone pit.
places are.
Yeah, I'm like,
And then-
that's a clear. Don't push the button. Push the button.
Yeah, it's definitely I think we should go there last, maybe. I don't know, unless you
It
think we should
sounds
start
like
there.
fun. And it sounds like they don't want us there, so let's go.
So, this is water. So you guys can move.
To the bone pit, got it.
Well, I'm not telling you where that is or isn't. So,
This is side-on view, right? Like this is vertical and
yes.
horizontal
Yes, correct.
movement,
Correct.
right? Because we're at the top. We came in the top door.
Yeah.
We control the horizontal.
Dive, dive, dive. And I jump
Yeah.
on Lestran's back.
No.
How squishy is the wall? Like,
So-
is the wall as squishy as the surface was along the top of the coral?
Yes. Equally porous with just a little bit of squish when you touch it.
Interesting.
Ew.
Does it like glow a little bit brighter when we touch it?
No, unless you touch part of the active algae parts, then it does.
Hmm.
And then some gets on your hands.
No.
I
war
didn't
paint.
say it did anything bad. God,
I mean,
guys.
I'm
I'm not going to kill you at the entrance to the dungeon. That's no fun to me either.
You just wants to scrape some in a bottle quick and put it in his
Yeah,
bag
that's
of holding.
Go ahead and roll me a survival check, please.
God. Can we not die, please?
Shh. It'll be okay. Survival. Where is it?
That's like
18
fourth to
total.
last.
18 total?
Yep, 18
Okay.
survive.
All right. You collect one bottle of the material quite easily. Congratulations, you have basically the equivalent of a dancing light in a bottle.
Cool.
A single light.
I assume it needs the water in there, though, so...
Yes.
Oh, it's like a little aquarium.
Anyway, I will mark that in my notes. I'll
Perfect.
just add it. I'll add it later and custom items because that's a pain now.
Yeah, it is.
It is less easy than it used to be.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Although I will take a moment to appreciate that separating out your bags was pretty awesome.
I
That was
yes,
very nice.
yes.
I very much
It's
enjoyed that.
I'm okay with the alternatives.
So, what are we doing?
I told you, I'm writing Lestrin down.
Okay, Lester, your stealth checks will be at disadvantage while Wally's writing you.
I won't.
I'm up for it.
I'm teasing.
No, you can do it. I won't stop you. I just... Consequences.
Consequences.
Lolly, how about you just walk behind me?
I will.
Okay.
Swim.
That's good.
Swim.
Although technically you
swimming.
can walk if you just put your feet onto the porous material and
On the
kind
wall.
of bounce
No,
down.
thanks.
Yeah.
Or the ceiling.
Like, have you guys seen Arrival? Like where you're walking down the
Yeah.
wall?
Yeah, or Mass Effect 3 when you're walking onto the
Yeah.
ship of the Geth and it's just dead silence. That's very similar. Eerie vibes where it's just quiet.
Yeah, I'm.
I choose life.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose mage armor.
Yeah, boring.
I'm gonna swim up front next to Lestrin if I can.
Okay.
I'll stick toward the middle, so I can.
That you have the back guarded. Doyle and the dwarves will take up the rear guard for now. I'm not going to put them on the map until we have combat because that'll slow down processing even more. So,
That's fair.
This map is gigantic.
yeah, it is.
Mhm, it is. I'm excited. The passageway, like the whole, because I'm kind of inspecting it as I go down. Like it's pretty much the same all the way down, right?
You can make an investigation check if you want to touch stuff, or a perception check if you would just want to perceive.
Perceive. So
Okay.
Unless I see a button or something. Perceive. 18 total again.
Okay. So far, you're not noticing anything too odd. You do notice that some of these holes are a little bit bigger. Specifically speaking, give me 1 second on the specific measurement. It looks like they're purposefully made to be just a little over an inch wide in diameter. And it's not normal for the rest of the porous material. There's just a few of them that are like that, though. You counted off 1, 10 feet, 2, 5 feet, 3, 10 feet, 4. So far, nothing's coming yet.
No,
Mhm.
no es suyo.
Sí es tuyo.
No. A dog is begging for my tamales.
I know. I'm begging for your tamales, too.
Tamales.
Oh my god.
I must say that I've had better tamales, but it's still a tamal.
Mhm.
Still not dog food, and therefore superior.
Exactly. She is a beggar. The only time she ever gets aggressive with the cat is when we're eating food.
Jyotis, you can now see that up ahead, the coral rock-like material ends in a steel door. Or at least it would appear to be steel to most people. You already know this based off of your backstory, that is actually an organic metal. It is sealed almost like the equivalent of how the Stargate opens and closes with those tiny cylinders that come together in that spherical
Mhm.
Iris.
pattern, the iris
Iris.
shape.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm gonna like hold up my hand for the halt signal and be like, signal that I kind of know what this is. And
Is
I'm
there
going to go
anything inscribed on
inspect it? Can I roll investigation on it to see if I can find the unlocking mechanism?
Latham, you can roll perception. Jyotis, investigation.
Investigation.
15.
19 total this time.
All right. So, Latham, attempting to read, you see a lot of runes in various squiggles. And what languages do you speak? I need to look at your character sheet really quick, because I know you got some new ones, so I wanted to check in.
Some infernal and such, but let's see.
Actually, roll me an intelligence check, and I'll explain why later.
Okay. 17 on the die for a 21 total.
Okay. So, this is an interesting mix of abyssal, gith, and other things that you don't quite get. Because in ancient history, the entirety of the gith culture was determined, destined, and enslaved by the Mind Flayers to such a point where they controlled their language, controlled everything about them, as you learn back in Mirar Talvash. Here, though, these runes are different. Some of them come from those ancient carvings, and those are the ones that appear the most faded away, rusted. If biometric material could rust in the normal way, which it does seem to have some sort of buildup on, it's difficult to get any of those signs. But the ones in Abyssal are abundantly clear to you. Here are the worshippers of Dagon. We speak to that which is below all, the angler, the light, to which all mortals fall. Jyotis, with your investigation check, how are you going about this?
Well, I'm looking for the mechanism that, like, there's probably a panel or something, if it's not spell-oriented, that unlocks it.
Okay,
Where
are you starting to look? Tell me that story.
I want to look around the edges and see if there's like a keypad or something near where I can key in a sequence.
Okay. Yeah, with that 18, you see two things. One, that this had an original opener sequence, and that has been completely ripped out and replaced with something that looks a little more rudimentary, a basic, almost slide control that you would have to know to look for. So you're able to find it, but you get the sense that once you pull the pressure switch, it will start to open the door. As far as you can tell, this is not trapped. It is just locked for now.
And you said there was gith on it?
The gith is the oldest parts on here.
But it
The
looks
gith language.
would I need to roll a Tinker's check or something to see if it's been, because just judging on the fact that the panel is different, like, can I tell that it's been modified?
Oh, you can easily tell it's been modified.
Right.
But Lolly and Latham, based on being able to speak gith, you know the name of this place.
Ooh.
Vestres Zontiform.
Vestres Zontithorm.
And not a Quarka ruins as we know it, but rather
The original Mind Flayer label of this place in both deep speech and the gith language.
is this a known name? Like, would Latham know this name to be the original?
This is ancient history, so I feel like this would be a super high DC check, but you make dealings with demons and devils. You're a lawyer, so I'll let you roll for it. It's high DC, though.
Can I also do a history check?
Yes.
Maybe it's contemporaneous
Not-
with me.
gonna do it. 10.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, a 10 gets you nothing. It's new to you.
Okay.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
So I rolled a 5 with history, so 8 total.
No idea.
Does it read anything different? So, you know how you said Gitzerai and Githyanki were like clockwise and counterclockwise?
Correct.
Does it read anything different counterclockwise?
Oh, interesting try. I'll let you one more try.
Okay. Is that history again?
Yeah.
15?
That'll get you. Because you have a contemporary background, the DC is a little lower for you. And I'm sorry that I do shifting scale DCs, but depending on which character's doing it, kind of makes sense based off of background. So, Lolly, when starting to read backwards and thinking about that processing manner, you get one new word out of that term, and it's the hive of Vestris Zontiform.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Are you going to say that out loud?
And that translates like I think it does, where it's like a beehive.
Yeah.
Or is it like just central hub home?
Hive.
Just say it to Jyotis and see what happens.
In the translation that I will give you with a 15, hive.
Okay. Careful, guys. There are bees here.
What do you mean, Lolly? Bees?
It says the hive of Vestris Zontithorm form Firbolg.
What? It says that in what language?
Yes.
What language does it say?
Like forwards, it, gets the right way. It reads
Oh, it's GIF.
Vestris Zontiform, but in like the other counterclockwise way, it's like the hive.
Oh shit.
Like the beehive.
This place is probably very, very, very old.
It is.
Like
Like at least
hundreds of thousands of years. And if it's the hive, it used to be the hub of. I don't know who Vestris is. Like, don't know if I've heard that name. Would I have heard that name, Bob?
Well, your memory's been restored. I'll let you take a high DC history check.
Is it like a name or is it like
you wouldn't know the context of that?
They don't do like a.
But Jyotis might.
I rolled a net 20. So what did you say? Was it history?
Yeah.
Net 20. It's a 25.
Okay. With the 25, you might want to save some of these rolls for combat, sir. With the 25. With a 25.
Not have combat since we read
you
all the
pause
warning signs.
And think about it. And you think back to the memories that you oh so painfully gained from Dale and Lead. And you start sorting through. And when Lolly says hive, it keeps triggering to you. A hive isn't the central location. It's the reference to an elder brain community of flayers. Many illithids living together, working together with a central consciousness.
Oof. So the name actually might be the central brain name?
No, it is not like this is the big home base. This is
the satellite
a community. No, this is a hive community.
Okay.
Elder brains form communities, and when one gets too big, they form a new one. That's some OOC knowledge, top level, player to DM knowledge. But what this is referring to is that this is an illithid community, either the same size or possibly bigger than the one where you were grown.
Yeah, I'm going to tell that to my friends. This is probably similar or bigger than the one I came from, guys.
So our original
It's a
plan was to
community.
blow it up. I say we get to that part of the plan.
Right.
I like this idea.
Right. But bear in mind, this place is pretty active, and I've noticed that it has been tampered with, so I don't know if it's the original owners are active here. It seems like it's been repurposed.
Yeah, but
This panel over here is different.
Oh.
Literally the panel that used to open this has been ripped out and replaced with a simpler form.
Oh, new neighbors moved in.
I don't know. Just relaying the information. Don't know if it's the original owners here.
All right, still planning to blow it up. Got it.
But yeah, it's old, and there's probably old dangerous things here. Shall we?
I'm good.
All right, should we take some points? I'm gonna trigger the mechanism that I think opens the door. I don't think it's booby trapped, so shall we be on the ready?
Is this a good idea, Gary?
I unfortunately have no idea.
I'm pretty sure if I just pull this lever here, I didn't see any booby traps. And yeah. And if I pull it, it should open the door here.
This is not the dungeon where you want to take psychic damage, Gary.
Another one, you mean?
Yeah.
So I say we put Lestrin up front, just, in case. If that's okay with you, Les.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine.
Is my intern still with us? Did I dispel it?
Yeah, I wouldn't delete your intern.
Okay.
Would be rude.
All right. Y'all ready?
Cracktopus, go.
All right, you're just going to trigger the mechanism.
And the door begins to open. And in the surface, it makes all those neat noises when you open a door, like a or a here. It makes that sound with bubbles coming up with that.
Yep.
Those low frequency as the iris unfurls neatly into the wall. The organics actually blending into each other almost like a secondary sheath of skin folding in on itself.
Ew.
The next room appears cold, empty, spherical, but that bioluminescent metal, or not bioluminescent, but that biometallic property surrounds the entire wall here.
Bob, can I do a thing with Zoig?
What do you want to do?
I want to have him record, just be a little recording device, record everything.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll accept that. Get out your Gesundheitszoid.
Just have him floating around.
Yeah.
100 years since the Titanic sank into a watery bed in the Atlantic.
Exactly.
Hey, come on!
All right. So, door open.
Doors open. Next room is waiting.
Oh boy.
This room, unlike the last room with that natural ambient light, the only light coming into this room is coming from the tunnel of the coral. This is dark.
Ooh. Is it so dark that dark vision doesn't even work?
No, dark vision works just fine. It's not magical darkness.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Perception check.
Yep.
Okay. There it is. There's a lower roll. It's still a 15, though. 15%.
Okay. Man. Okay, well, 15 is really good. With the 15, you can see that this room has several spherical objects that I didn't put on here because I was trying to keep rendering as low as I could.
That's fair.
But along the walls, there are cylindrical containers that appear to again be made out of a biometallic material that it doesn't play nice with the rule sets of form and function of the eyeball. They are cylindrical as best you can describe it, with hints of ice crystals and cold glass that covers the front of them. There are 6 on each side. 5 of them on the right side appear to have opened, where it's unfolded. And Jyotis, this works almost hauntingly similar to how your leg worked when it was influenced by an eldritch abomination. It unfurls, but not in the just it opens with the glass. No, this unfolds and sheathes into itself to reveal.
I'm gonna look at Garret and point at it, and then point to my leg, and then point to my temple. Like, remember?
I'll just nod.
So again, there's a total of 12 of those pods. 5 of them are unsealed.
Okay.
Obviously empty. The others appear to have ice crystals over.
I'm gonna say, see the empty ones, and then I'm gonna point over there, see the not empty ones. We probably don't want to open these things.
That's good, eh?
Yeah.
I'm floating this idea out loud, asking, can I go look at what's inside?
Just
Jyotis, is that wise?
No
I don't
touch,
know. Don't touch it. Do not touch it.
touch with eyes, not hands.
Touch with eyes.
With your eyes, not
I'll
your
go with you,
hands.
Wally.
Okay.
I'll go look with you.
My guess is it's some form of defense mechanism. Look at, it's a round chamber we're in. I'm assuming it's completely spherical, right, Bob? Like it's a spherical.
It is spherical.
Yeah.
I'm placing them somewhat chaotically because they are not placed in a nice, orderly fashion. It's chaotic.
I mean, we're in an ocean environment, so imagine this is the first defense chamber, and imagine something, I don't know, nasty coming swimming out of that thing.
Lolly?
Possession.
I'm going to mark which ones are actually empty, just so you know. Okay?
Okay.
So any of the dark blue ones are empty.
Okay. And this, we already checked this chamber for like the ammonia trap kind of stuff.
It's still water filled right now.
Okay, good.
Right, Jyotis just is thinking about piranhas.
That's freshwater.
Yeah.
I know that's freshwater, but you know, the saltwater version.
I've got so many nastier things for you.
Does it look
I'm
like
trying not to trigger the
grown
first
on
one.
since?
I'm sorry, what was that, Dan?
So I was trying to get a sense of like how freshly opened these were based off of if anything's grown on it since.
I would require either a perception or investigation check. Dan, if you want to investigate those, you'll need to be probably within 10 to 15 feet of one. Lolly, because you lack dark vision, you either need to cast light or get up close.
Oh no, I'm sending crackers up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
All right.
I'm staying behind
Okay.
Lestrin and just having crackers
Okay.
float over.
For this sake, I know that your character is behind Lestrin. Move yourself to emulate which one you have crackers at.
Okay, so he's just gonna like float through these and then look at this one down at the bottom.
Okay. Since Latham's going up to an empty one, I'm going to start with him. Latham, perception check, please.
Or investigation?
Either one. Whichever one you feel like. Investigation's a little more touchy, but...
I'll go with it because it has slightly higher stats, but 23 total.
Wow, nicely done. Okay, so, Latham, you can start to look at this, and you start to look at this from the perspective of an ambulance chaser, of when was this last used? How fresh is this? How likely is this to break down? What is this? And as you start to study it, you can tell that this has been recently used. And the reason you can tell is because you carefully watched how the first door opened and how it worked. Even though this material is colored differently, it is of what appears to be pure black. It works in similar mannerisms. And especially with dark vision, you can get like heat source simulations of where things have moved recently, what things hold just a little more heat in this cold, cold temperature. And the parts where it has moved still hold a little heat, like they were recently used. Without touching it, difficult to get any more of a read, but if you want to start touching them, I would give you a specific time.
No, he's not gonna touch it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
A little...
No touchy.
Lolly, for crackers,
Mhm.
there is ice over what appears to be glass that covers the front half of this. How would you like to take a look?
Are there any like cracks or seals around this? Like, does it look like there's air in there or just more water?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Exciting questions. Go ahead and roll a perception check,
Okay.
because you're looking for somewhere to go.
Okay. 13?
You can do this two ways. You can spend a few minutes to find it, or you can say that you couldn't find it instantly. Would you spend the few minutes looking?
I'd spend a few minutes.
Okay. It takes a few minutes. It takes about 3 minutes. As Crackers kind of silently flows from side to side looking for any weakness, but eventually it does find one. A space that's just a little over an inch where it could squeeze through.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Guess my next question. Yeah, so is Crackers gonna slip through there and take a look around?
That's up to you.
Yes.
Okay. Crackers squeezes in. What is Crackers' passive perception?
12.
Oh, that's fine. Are you in Crackers' body?
Perceptions? Yeah.
Okay. I was just asking to clarify because I know that you sometimes send Crackers to do something and sometimes you're in Crackers. So I wanted
No,
clarification.
I said that I was looking with
In
my eyes.
Crackers?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
And he
the
doesn't
first
have
thing you
hands,
see,
so I'm still being good.
yeah,
Mhm.
the first thing that you see is blue skin. Something that looks aquatic, but almost humanoid. Its ears are sharp, sharpened to an extent above even that of which an elf would have.
Oh no, is it a Jyotis cloak?
There's metal attachments inside of its body. It appears to be wearing an armor of hides and steel. Unlike Jyotis, who breathes when he is unconscious, this does not move at all. It has the quiet stench of undeath on it. It is hairless, unlike Jyotis as well, but it is clearly a Simic hybrid.
Okay. I'm gonna have Crackers quietly retreat. Or
Go
actually,
ahead and roll a stealth check.
no, wait, I can just poof him. Poof.
Okay.
And then I just bamf him back next to me.
Yep. Bamf's next to you.
There's a dead Jyotis in there.
Mm.
He He's stinky.
I don't know if it's dead or not.
I'm
Maybe
gonna look
it's
over at Jyotis.
in
raise my
hibernation.
eyebrow.
You're a horrible pre-watch. You're fired.
What?
I think that was Dirt Dog.
That was Georgia.
Why?
It's okay. If you're fired underwater, you're not on fire.
Right? It's just in boiling water. Well, so we've established that there's some kind of Simic hybrid in these things. Are they my size or are they smaller?
Your size.
Damn, okay. They're a lot bigger than I expected.
I mean, obviously they have individual heights, but they are of similar size and proportion to you.
Yeah.
And that's based off of Cracker's reporting. It looks similar to the merfolk that you had encountered before, where they were undead, but had strange metal attachments and appendages to them.
Right.
Additions.
If I had to guess, they came from here.
Yeah. Well, how many did we kill? We killed 6-ish or more, right?
A little over 8 merfolk.
Neat.
8.
And I was very clear, those were merfolk, not Simic hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which should be alien to most people. Very alien.
Hopefully it's feeling a little bit alien now.
It's feeling very alien because I don't have metal stuff sticking out of me everywhere, except for my leg. But, yeah, I don't think we should wake the other ones up if they can be woken. Awoken? Awoke? Whatever.
Awoken.
Wakened?
Awakened.
As fuck.
If they could be woke. That's bad.
Awoken. They just come out with like feminism is awesome
Yeah.
signs. Yeah, they're gonna beat you to death with them, but
Nah, babe.
They support
woke
your
as
rights.
fuck.
God. Anyway,
In that context, you're speaking in the passive, which uses the past participle, so it's awoken.
thank you, Mikey. All
My
right.
pleasure.
so long and thanks for all the fish.
Yes. Thanks for all the fish. Shall we move to the next chamber, guys, and see if this is? I don't think. Oh, should I do what sort of investigation do I need to do to see if this would be a good spot for a bomb?
Let's roll an intelligence check.
No, if this is the only entrance, we could just blow this up and leave.
No, we want to
Yeah,
just
there
go
was
this
at
place.
least 2 more, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Darn.
Intelligence. Straight intel.
Yeah.
That would be a 16 total this time.
This would be a horrible place to put a bomb. A,
Okay.
it's the only entrance you've scouted so far. B, it's still pretty early on inside of the coral, whereas a depth charge may do enough damage to collapse this particular area. You're looking for igniting multiple charges to cause a vast chain reaction collapse. You're basically trying to undermine it from different points of the structure. This is probably not a good spot to put one.
I kind of assumed that, but you never know. I was like, maybe
It was an easy check. It was like a 5 and up, I'd give it to you, but at 5 you'd be like, I don't know.
I just think the DM wants us to explore
this is
more.
just from my architecture background. I was like, this probably will suck for that.
You
but
want to try to blow it up from here? I'm all for it. You try.
I mean, I just was like, maybe there's something I'm not aware of, like a gas line that might catch. Anyway,
Halt and catch fire. All right, guys. Well, it's 8:46. So do we want to take a 15-minute break and then come back and deal with the next door?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
All right, everyone.
2, 1, Fidelio.
All right. Jyotis, you had begun requesting to find access to the next room, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I did.
That's where we left off. All right. I need an investigation check from you.
Investigation. 14.
Okay. With a 14, you start scanning the walls, and it's not immediately obvious. You occasionally hear what you might think to be a beep. Just a rattle in the back of your head.
Mm-hmm.
You trace your hands along the walls that have curvature patterns. Deep speech, rewritten with other languages as well. But eventually you find what you feel is a trigger mechanism. But, and this is the but, the one you find requires to pressurize this chamber before opening.
Oh no.
It insists that it will drain the water.
Guys, it wants to pressurize this chamber.
God.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying.
Should we leave and let it do that cycle and then come back later?
No, because think about it. We're in a chamber that was connected to the outside. There's great pressure out there in the ocean. So you can't just have one doorway that leads into the place or it'd flood the whole place, right? So you need to have a chamber that lets pressure in and out. So they probably pressurize this place so that they can go out into the ocean and then drain it when they need to go inside if the next chamber is not filled with water.
Oh, it's the transition freezeway, if you were.
Right. So I'm assuming the chambers beyond this might not be pressurized. They might be. They're pressurized with air.
So are we gonna die?
I don't know. I hope not.
Is there a chance that we would get sucked out of this chamber if we pressurize it?
We'd have to close the other door. I think it closed shut behind us, though, didn't it? Or not?
It would close shut when you started this process. It is right now open.
Okay. So yeah, I'd explain that. They're probably closed when we start that process. So we'll want everybody in this room. And we'll probably want to be standing on what we think is the floor.
Since gravity still works, we can figure that out.
Mm-hmm. Magic rock. You drop the rock.
Air bubble.
The rock of detect gravity?
Yeah,
Yes.
the rock of detect gravity.
It's a weather rock. It's universal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pull the rock out and it floats there.
Hey,
All right.
this is pumice.
So, are we ready to do this, guys? Do we want to trigger this?
Well, seeing as how this is the only way forward, is that correct?
I assume.
At least from his investigation check, yes.
I assume this is the only way forward. I haven't seen any other buttons. That doesn't mean you guys haven't found anything cool.
I could have a look around. If you don't mind.
I will warn you, Gary, that this is an extremely dark chamber in here. The light sources are mostly coming from the dim light of that tunnel, because that tunnel is the actual brain coral material. This is that biometal, and there's no light coming from these.
It doesn't hurt to try.
Right?
What's wrong with
So
your
I'll just
voice?
go ahead. What?
It's the water.
Yeah, literally, it would sound different in the water.
Oh, it's cocked. Hang on. 16 and a 12, so the disadvantage, the total would be 15.
Okay. One better than Jyotis. You find pretty much the exact same stuff that Jyotis has found. The similar control panel. You can't read any of it, which puts you at a slight disadvantage. But from as far as you can tell, by levers and indications with arrows, that is essentially what will happen, is that in order to enter the dungeon proper, this chamber needs to pressurize. It will drain the water out, and then y'all better be on the floor before that door opens.
Mm-hmm.
I assume the water will decrease as it gets...
Correct. Yes, it will not instantly fade away.
So
The
Jyotis,
question
you're the only one.
is-
So Jyotis, do you have dark vision or not?
I do have dark vision.
Okay, so
The
you
other
see everything
question,
you need to see.
the other question I have is, by doing this, would it be visible what's happening from the outside?
With a 15 and a 14, difficult to tell, probably not overly obvious. The coral may make a minor error adjustment, but it would take someone who is highly intelligent to figure out what that is.
I mean, judging by the tunnel, we're a fair distance in here, inside of the outer shell.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that doesn't mean the process isn't going to be silent.
no, it's definitely not going to be. There has to be some kind of mechanism that's
Mhm.
going to pull the water out of here.
Yep.
Plus,
I'm gonna
I think we should.
Go ahead.
it seems our best way forward at this point.
Well, what were you trying to say, Latham?
Using thaumaturgy, I'm going to create a small dim light. Kind of let it
Okay.
in a ball
Red?
floating around the room, just to see if there's
Make it
anything
red.
else of interest around the room, mechanisms to help with this process.
Roll an investigation check.
Make it red.
For me, it's a grand total of 7. I don't know if anyone else is looking with the light
Oh,
on.
no.
No new information for you, unfortunately. Again, you kind of take your time and you go in different directions, seeing if anything else is sticking out to you. The one thing I will give you, since you've been looking in different places than Gary and Jyotis, is that you see that there's a lot more slots where more of those pods could fit.
Oh,
There's not more pods, but there's slots for them in the walls.
okay. There's pods for pods.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
that. Like it's like that hanging architecture where you're like, I'm going to put a shelf there someday.
Hmm. Is it like a new shelf, like they're adding to these things?
Uh huh.
How many more slots are there? Is it like every other spot there's a spot
Come
for a pod?
Well, let's go. This is a
Gotta go potty.
Comment. Looking at one of them, I don't know how many there are, but looking at one of them, I'll comment. That.
There's at least slots to fit 48 more.
Holy shit!
All
okay.
right. So, drawing attention to it, I'll comment. It looks like they intended to have more.
Hmm. A lot more. This place is way more active than we expected. These, and like Jyotis talks to Doyle, these places are normally abandoned, right? Not always, but mostly abandoned.
Mostly. Sometimes there's still Quartka, but not seen anything this organized before.
This is whacked.
This is dangerous. Eyes up, everyone.
Right. Yeah, I say we're ready. If the door opens, we might be making some noise here. Shall we?
Woohoo!
Seems the path forward. But
Press.
All right.
Press. Let's get
So-
everybody in the chamber.
that seems.
and
Sorry,
then
excuse me.
press the button.
I'm going to move
How many
Lester
Doyle's
forward
men are
because I
with
don't
us?
know if Sam's still in the car. Doyle has 4 other dwarves with him.
Okay.
I'm just not putting them on the map because they slow things down the more
Yeah.
assets I have on the
That's
map.
fine.
So I'm trying to keep it as
As-
low as possible because this is a pretty good map.
That's
As long
fair.
as we're clear that like Doyle peeps are joining us for the moment until they eventually betray us.
Yeah, they're all coming.
Yeah,
Okey-dokey.
yeah, they're all coming with because they need to find spots to help blow this place to high hell.
Holy.
All right, let's press the button.
All right. Jyotis, you go to press the button, and it's the kind of lever where you don't just actually change it. This is one that you actually like squeeze, shift, and twist, and it feels so strange, so alien to reach your hand in and treat this not like a doorknob, but rather like a squeeze button first before twisting.
Like a squeeze stick shift.
Yeah. A purple pulse of light ignites along the room, running in an aberrant wire shape pattern through the place, ending in weird, strange circles and almost crop circle type architectural features, bringing the room to just a dim purple light. The door up above closes, its iris sealing shut with another more bubbles. And then the water begins to drop. And Jyotis, based on yours and Gary's previous checks, you would notice that you can drop this water slowly or fast. Right now it's currently dropping slow, losing about 10 feet per, let's say 6 seconds. It could go faster, which is fast. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot of water displacement, but you can go even faster.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, is it another shift in the gear that I'm holding, like the stick? Yeah, so I'm going to try and speed it up a little. Like,
All right. Roll me a Tinker's Tools check, because that's basically what you're doing, is you're tinkering with the mechanism.
Tinker's check. It's going to be above average. It is a 16 total.
Okay. All right. Sure enough. And you hear that jacuzzi-like feature of air bubbles starting to flow in from all the sides. Everything. And very, very quickly, the water now drops between 15 to 20 feet per 6 seconds, which is an incredible amount of displacement.
Yep.
And eventually,
You should slow that down.
I can slow it back down, like when it's getting near the bottom. Like,
Okay.
slow it down.
where do you want to slow it down?
Like when it's a couple feet above the bottom, I guess. Because you said it was a foot per second on the low setting.
On the low setting, it's about a foot per 6 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. So when it gets to like a foot and a half, I'd like to slow it back down again. So it'd take about 10 seconds or so for it to drain out.
Yeah. Sure enough, you and the purple ambience switches patterns, and it slows, finally draining out to who knows where, who knows how, because you don't see any openings, any hose work, anything that would pull and pressurize the room. But sure enough, all of you are now stationed on the bottom. Because, well, when in Rome.
Yeah.
Roma, mi piace mangiare cagnolini.
With that, the lattice network measures back up. That purple ambient light fades back into darkness. And the next lever switch activates to where you can now open the door.
Point man, you ready? Here's the door. Shift it.
All right. Door shifts, and opens. Again, this time no iris, but it's almost like the wall bleeds into itself, pulling open from all sides. And now, for the really weird perspective part, this next part is actually top down.
Oh,
Huh.
yay!
So this room is top down.
Yes.
Cool.
Passive perception checks. This room, again, Jyotis Lolly has the smell of death attached to it. And fish.
Mm-hmm.
Strange other chemical smells float and permeate about the air. Neither of you would know offhand what these are, but they're acrid. Definitely give the air a taste.
What's it taste like?
What's embalming fluid taste like?
Yeah, I was gonna say probably pretty nasty stuff.
Blech.
Yeah.
You ever bitten into like a old, like a molded
Vinegar.
Yeah, like molded bread or not molded bread, molded something that was moldy and you didn't realize it was moldy and you bit into it and it's like, oh.
I did that recently.
Also, when
I
oils
press
go rancid.
the inside of my nostrils to smell cake.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. Well, you will now have disadvantage on any smell checks, but thankfully I don't make you make many of those to begin with. So, there is obviously 2 tunnels leading out. This is, again, darkness. Pitch black darkness. Latham's thaumaturgic light is the only light source outside of the normal ones that you guys have with you.
so are we now on 5 foot square grid?
Yes. Now in 5 foot square territory.
The material, the floor, the walls, is this the same squishy here you
Metallic
have
material?
Okay, so it's metallic here. Okay.
Yeah. This is a
last room
biometal material.
It's the same as the last room, right? The only
Yeah.
room that was
Yeah,
squishy
the only
stuff is
room that was squishy. I will tell you anytime the room gets squishy again.
Cool.
I promise. I mapped this out to where I'm like, squishy or not squishy? Even though it's all metal looking, it was just for ease of creation.
It's I like it. So the question is, I probably need to roll perception to see if I can see, right?
I mean, you can see that there's 2 tunnels.
Okay. So the question is, right or left? Or do we split the party? I would rather not.
I think we've learned our lesson doing that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you haven't, I'll teach it again.
We
That'll
don't need
learn
to
you.
cover that lesson one more time.
That'll learn you something fierce.
It's risk reward.
Right or left? Does either way look more dangerous than the other?
Roll a perception.
It's a little distracted by the metal on the walls because it's awesome. 12.
Yeah, you're a little distracted, and also it's just 2 tunnels, man. Like, it's literally right or left. And
Okay.
with a 12, you can see that there's some drag marks on the flooring that look like metal things have been dragged through in both directions. There's the occasional dark vision or low light vision blood stain here or there. Some of it is green and purple, other is rusted. But no real hint as of which way is the right way to go.
Should I take a vote? Right or left? Or just do rock, paper, scissors?
Flip a coin.
Flip a coin? I'm cool with flipping a coin.
I'll do it.
Roll a D2.
Roll D2.
Oh, I just told Google to flip a coin.
Which
Call
way
it.
is which?
Somebody call it.
Tails.
Tails is which way? Left or right?
I was gonna
I
say
have no-
heads is left, tails is right.
Okay, perfect. Thank the gods.
He said tails, right?
Heads is left, it's heads.
So we're
Left.
going.
We're going.
So is this our
West.
left or Steve's left?
Oh my god.
West.
I'd say.
We're
I'd
going
say-
west.
Fucking riddle. I just need to give you a tunnel with options.
So it's
This way. We're going this way.
stage left.
Ugh.
That's a valid question.
I love
I
making
mean-
Google flip a coin, but we always
Video
screw
games
that one
have
up.
taught me to like make sure you double check, figure out which one's a real like main quest path and which one's a side path that has the loot that you need to grab before you go on the main
Yeah.
quest.
Yeah,
I think video game logic for screwing with us.
yeah.
All right. So you're going in this direction. Lestrin, since you're leading the pack, I'll accept a perception check.
Okie dokie. That is a +4. 21.
Okay. Very good. With a 21, you can detect that this way, though dark, has some sort of light source. Give me 1 second. There's some sort of light source coming from down here. Let me ping. Ping? No? Ping? There we go. There's small trace ambient light sources coming from this direction.
Okay.
Mostly bluish light, a little bit of purple.
Gesture up ahead. I see light.
Ambient light or no?
Looks stationary. Right?
Yes.
Note. It's probably lighting for the temple. Don't know.
Hopefully.
Can I roll an Arcana check and see if the light would be some sort of trigger mechanism for a trap?
When you get closer, yes.
Okay. They're over here, she said.
Down here, yeah.
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 So yeah, I wanna check and see if there's gonna be like metal spikes that come out of the wall, Indiana Jones style, if you step into the light.
Sure, go ahead and roll.
It is Arcana, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 22.
It's just ambient. No Indiana Jones light.
Okay.
But what it's coming from is what you can now actually see is a variety of jars stored in this room with what appears to be a bluish, like a bright blue, luminescent preservation light. Because some of them have gray matter in them. And beyond that, I'll need a perception check.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that. As soon as I see a jar with glowy stuff in it. Ooh, what's that? That's a 23.
Yeah, with a 23, you can see brains. It is grayish spherical brains. Some of them obviously have a medulla oblongata. Others appear to be brain shapes and structures of creatures that you have never seen or heard of.
Wow.
And I would require medicine checks for any more detail than that. These are humanoid. There is at least 20 of them. Many look very decayed and broken apart. Some look better preserved.
Wow. Old brains, guys. Points up.
Ew.
Many different
Okay.
species. But most of them humanoid as far as I can tell. That's disturbing, knowing my past. Because they seem to be in various states of preservation.
I'd require a medicine check to answer any more than that.
Yeah, that's, well, I'm just telling them like that. Like, Jyotis is thinking about it. Like, could these things be storing something from his past?
your
Is that the
brain in
medicine check?
there?
No. Is that the medicine check, Bob?
Are you trained in medicine?
Nope.
Then the answer is no. You've never looked at your own brain out of your head before. At least not when it wasn't coming out of a squid straw.
Right.
Mm.
Ugh.
Anyone trained in medicine can make a check, or Latham also, because he's an ambulance chaser. I would accept that.
I'm not trained in it, but I do have a like +4 to it. Should I?
I'm gonna have to say that this is one that you would need training in medicine to do.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, that looks
Tom's
different
got
from
nothing.
normal brains. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All I see is brains.
How bad was your check?
8 total.
Yeah, Latham sees brains in various states of decay. Way too late to make any money off of these people.
All right, guys. Push forward, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
and
think so.
Jyotis, with that check, you would also know that this wall up here is
Mhm.
actually another door. With that original perception check, and this being low light due to all those brains in the room, yeah, you can detect a door.
All right. Do we want to try and go through this door or investigate the open hall?
How far can we see down the open hall? Like, just kind of into the abyss.
Let me check really quick.
Into the unknown.
Oh, my door went away. Give me 1 second.
Ah.
I will actually. I need to edit this map really quick.
The map is changing around us.
Did
The place
Did
is
that
alive.
door just grow there? It's living metal.
Get the president on the phone.
Yeah, Latham's not very happy with this place in general. It just creeps the fuck out of him, and seeing a door just get formed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, we should just basically play it off like that because, yeah.
Like if Jyotis didn't know his actual past, he'd be like, "Hey, man, this is home."
Right.
Latham's very much out of his element. He has the crossbow in one hand, like a little
Yeah, no,
trigger
but
happy.
you can now see what is obviously another iris door down to what I'm going to label as south because it's down.
Mhm.
The door where Jyotis is standing is very evidently a pressure door.
I'm gonna look for the panel again.
Roll investigation.
Do 16.
Okay. Yeah, you find it. This time you know where to look, so it's a bit more obvious. You take far less time, under a minute, to find the area.
All right, guys. Do we want to go down the hall? This is probably a pressure door, so it's probably some kind of pressure chamber behind it again, just like the first one we were in. First chamber. I shouldn't say just like, but it's probably another pressurized chamber of some kind.
Probably leads to the outside on some level.
Possibly. Although, we're dealing with water species here, so they might have just areas like Doyle said they often have many areas where they can pressurize just, the whole place in general. Like, it could either be flooded or it could be pressurized. Is there any writing around the edge of it? Like, does it have like this is the closet?
Not in deep speech. Let me check what languages you speak. Because this one's been relabeled.
Like the deep speech is scratched out and then it's something else. Great.
I don't think anyone here speaks it. I have to double check. No.
Org slashed out, and now it's written cafeteria.
No.
Definitely don't.
Right.
And no. Nope. No one here speaks it. So
what did it? Can I see what it said in deep speech, or is it just completely etched out?
It's completely etched out. Whatever the original purpose of this room was, it is no longer that.
Damn. Nobody. Does anybody have comprehend language?
My spell is just rather limited.
Can intern read it? Wait a minute. Can Zoig read it?
Does Zoig have comprehend languages?
I don't think so.
I don't either. Let's check.
I thought about taking it.
That's a big negative.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just got a few things.
Yeah, no.
That's a big name for there, good.
But he can record it and maybe we'll read it later.
Certainly can. Again, the markings are strange. They have no meaning to you.
There's some weird writing on it, and it's clearly been repurposed, guys. So do we want to check it out or move forward to down the hall south?
We should probably come back to this because it's extra work, and we don't know if we'll be able to easily come back through.
Right. All right, I'm fine with pushing forward south.
All right.
We'll be back, maybe.
That's the hope. Maybe not. We'll probably end up blowing this place up.
I was going to say, we might not be back because we might just blow it up. So do we really want to just leave it?
Yes. I'm happy to walk away. I would much rather blast this place into oblivion than go searching for every scrap of gold I can find.
Right.
Yeah.
Doyle just gives a nod of just, yeah, that's the right thought.
All right, let's go. Is this door that I'm walking up to, is it open?
Closed.
Closed. All right.
You again know where the triggers are.
Okay.
These ones have also clearly been altered. They work much like the first one you found.
Is it weird speech again that I can't read?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody else here can?
Nope.
Rock 'em, sock 'em, flock 'em, block 'em.
All right. I don't know what this says, but are y'all ready to trigger the door?
No, but we're gonna anyway.
And just kind of nod to that. Uh-huh.
All right. Pulls the lever.
Pull some
Does it make
levers.
that sound right there? That
Pulls
Yeah.
a lever.
Right.
This time it makes a more smooth whoosh sound.
not nearly
Now
as
that it's
bone
in air.
curdling.
Yeah.
The next room lacks the immediate smell of death, Jyotis.
Well, that's good. So,
You do
Guys.
see small bones piled about in the hallway. And this is the coral material again beyond here. But air.
so the walls in here are coral, or
Yes.
okay,
How
and
small a
bone
bone are we
bits.
talking? Chicken wings or something else?
I would accept either a survival or a medicine check.
We're gonna go medicine, so 17.
Oh no. Those are humanoid bones.
Mm.
Different creatures. Looks like some crabs have been consumed too. Weirdly enough, as many bones as you see that are random body parts in this room, there's never a head.
Hmm.
And it's not like there's countless bone piles in here. It's not difficult terrain or anything like that, but there's just bones.
More than I'm comfortable
Things.
with.
Like a crab
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, bones. All right. Yeah. By the way, those of you that can't smell because your heads are in helmets, we're leaving the smell of death behind us.
Which is great, because there's bones in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is older death, it appears.
I guess these bones go with the brains.
Maybe. Don't know. Those brains might be way older than we expect.
How quickly does it take to put on and off a helmet?
I would say that with someone's help, you can do it in about 20 seconds.
Okay,
18.
mine on.
Let's go 18. It's a 3-round thing because you first have to unlock it, then it's a twist click, and then a lift.
Okay,
Probably.
I'm not trusting this this room or like the structure in general, so I'm leaving mine on.
Yeah. I
Same.
suggest that we're supposed to leave all of the gear on because they will put gas and things in here. I'm going to be vulnerable to that.
As is
It's
Lolly.
claustrophobic and it makes me nervous as hell, but
No, thank
this
you.
is like a little
Yep. Ollie will too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing?
I say we move forward, but remember, the Lurkus said living subjects of high intellect to central chamber, rest, prisoner processing. Don't go to the bone pit. There's lots of bones around here.
Lovely.
Let's
Yay.
push forward anyway.
I mean, I wonder
We
why
can still
they
go
don't
back and
think
open the
that
other
is-
door.
Yeah, we could still go back and
Yes.
peek in the other
We can
chamber.
still go out the other hallway as well.
That too.
Yeah.
What are you doing, guys?
Crying.
I don't know.
What should we do, guys? Should we push forward or just go back?
I am completely out of my depth here. I can barely see 5 feet in front of me. And at this point, I'm willing to just let the people who have a bit more experience, or at least can see where they're going, make the calls.
Well, the further on we go this way, there's more bones and stuff. So I just remember the warning, don't go to the bone pit. So do we want to investigate potentially
No,
the
then
bone
do
pit?
go to the bone pit because they don't want us there.
Right. It says
Doyle also kicks in with just one line of just, this is a hallway, not a pit.
right. Forward then.
Yeah, why not? YOLO.
Very well.
Mhm.
Lead on.
Jyotis, are you moving at regular speed or stealth speed? I need answers.
Stealth speed.
Well, that's mightily fast for stealth speed. Roll a stealth check, please.
That's going to be okay, I think. Yep, that's a 19 total.
Okay. Feel pretty stealthy. Pretty confident.
17.
Lestrin, you feel pretty stealthy and pretty confident.
Yeah, that was a 19 with disadvantage.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We're not
'cause-
in water.
Yeah, you're not in water.
Damn. That's
Last
I'll
turn
roll a
is
19
very-
first.
Very carefully and just walking so slowly.
I got dirty 20 on stealth,
Excellent.
so I can help out.
Is it still pretty dark in this hallway yet?
Still pretty dark.
Okay.
There's some luminescence of the coral coming from ahead, but these parts of the coral are like the most ancient parts where it's probably not been alive or functional because of what the mind flayers did to it.
Right. Is that kind of what the side chambers here are? Like
Yeah.
Where we're at? Like these things here?
Yeah. Lolly, Latham, are you moving stealthy?
Uh-huh.
As stealthy as I can, because this place is creepy as fuck.
Dan, I can barely hear you.
Yeah, you've gotten
Sorry.
fainter and fainter.
As stealthy as I can, because this place is creepy.
Well, I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm a bit stealthier than that. I rolled a 19.
Yeah. So, the rest of you have been absolutely quiet, silent as a mouse, walking down this place. Lestrin has been taking slow, steady steps to not make noise. Lolly, you're trying to be careful, and you're doing so well for your first 10 feet. And then you're paying so much attention to not making a noise that you miss because your new leg steps directly on a bone and snap! Echoes.
Okay.
It's like that scene in Lord of the Rings and they knock the bucket down.
Full of suck! Lolly, I'm going to move you 15 feet into the room,
Okay.
because that's about how far you got. And yeah,
Alright.
with all of your passive perceptions, let me roll a thing. Seems fine for now.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's keep going.
Seems
You can move, if you continue to move stealth, I will let each of you move your 15 feet,
Okay.
and then Lolly, you can re-roll.
okay.
3.
16.
That's good. That's quieter.
Alright. So
The rest of you choosing to maintain?
I'm maintaining.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Previous roll.
Yeah. Alright. Lolly, you can move 3 more squares.
Okay.
Any of the others that were moving 3 more squares can move. And I need to check a thing.
My cat is snoring and it's adorable.
Is it?
Aw.
It's half speed, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's half speed.
I get to move 4 squares.
You have a partner that snores, it's kind of annoying, but any animal that snores is instantly adorable.
She
Right?
just makes this noise and it's so adorable.
Our cat had this really weird snoring noise. It was like a really high pitched, like it was like almost a purr. So,
Oh, maybe they were whispering.
like it was creepy though because like we didn't know what it was sometimes. Like, what is that noise? And then we'd be like, oh, the cat. It's the cat. She's in her house sleeping.
Jyotis,
Yes.
with your passive perception, you hear just the edge of something moving through the wall.
what?
Just a brief noise.
Moving through the wall. Huh?
Moving through the wall. And that is the only second you get. You are the only one not surprised in a surprise round.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Because
Basilisks.
Pipes.
out of the coral climbs the first completely pale white, almost semi-translucent creature, rising behind Latham, standing at nearly 2 meters in height. Tendrils flow off of its shoulders and one off of its head. Long, white, gaunt hands that have only 4 digits, 3 claws and 1 thumb. along with feet that are more like cloven hooves or possibly fins. It reaches up, and its head is only teeth.
Yeah, like a lamprey head.
Like a lamprey head.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
you
with
said-
that... What's that?
You said it was 2 meters tall almost?
Yes. And I've got to put a few more of them on the board. Because their perception check definitely caught your 1. And then everyone maintained their stealth, but they rolled really well on their perceptions. So...
Oh, it's so creepy looking.
So not counting the tentacle on its head, it's about the same size as Jyotis.
Correct. I think that'll do. Yeah, Jyotis, the one that you detected was trying to slink by, but then when it realized that you detected it, it comes out about at the halfway point. But the other two, one comes out directly behind Latham, and then Lolly, you are so surprised you don't even see yours coming out of the wall to emerge to see you. We're going to start with initiatives for everyone, please.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, goody.
I should put the dwarves on here.
Oh, damn! 22.
Hey, I also got 22.
All right, so Gary's going to win that because he has higher dex.
Couldn't just let me win, huh, Gary? God.
It was caution. Caution came in. Oh, wait, no, I got 23. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Wally, how'd you...
He's got +3.
Oh, no, I'm just hoping these are good
I have
rolls
+4.
coming out later.
I have +3.
The sad part was, like, it first came out cocked, but it was, like, on a 6 or a 16. And it was, like, right down the middle, and I was like,
Oh.
alright, I'll re-roll it then.
And it was like, oh, I'll give you a reroll.
Okay.
You like
good.
rerolls? I'll give you rerolls.
I'm not
I
cheating,
mean-
I was trying to be good.
I know.
It just gives you time to be strategic.
First one.
Strategery.
Strategic.
I kind of flip through my my spell list and go, anything
Yeah.
useful?
Yeah, so we have Gary up first, Lestrin up second.
And then
Let me
talk
roll
my
the
way out
other
of this.
two.
Probably not.
I think all of you beat one of them. Nope. Lolly fell behind one.
So my surprise round was hearing the damn thing.
Yeah. You are not surprised. So
Okay.
surprised is when you can't act on the first round. It's
Ah.
really bad.
Gotcha.
Where's
No
that?
bueno.
Buddy.
Surprise means
Oh,
they
yeah.
go first, and then we start combat.
Exactly.
Supplies!
Supplies! Jyotis, what do you have for your
Compliance.
initiative?
20.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Did I
you
put it in
three
the
are-
chat? Or
Yeah,
I put
you
it in
did.
the chat? Okay.
I'm just constructing everything. Okay. Yeah, so
Construir.
construction.
I mean, I've been known to
Construirse.
put it in the wrong chat, so, you know.
No worries.
You're not
Okay.
alone in that.
And the dwarves are dead last. Okay. All right. Dwarves rolled a 1 on their initiative. Great. So, first round is surprise round, which means that Jyotis is not surprised. They get to act absolutely first. Gary is no longer considered surprised because it's initiative in order. Then Lestrin is no longer considered surprised. Jyotis, you are not surprised, so you can actually act on your turn as you see one come out in the middle as the obvious one come out directly behind Latham and one come out near Lolly.
I'm immediately going to carve, you know what? I think I'm going to carve the fire ballista this time.
Okay.
Wait. Because I would hit all my friends if it's because it's a cone effect, right?
I mean, I'm okay with that, but are they okay with that? That's probably not.
It's so powerful, but
I don't care. Bring it on,
I
Jyotis.
think we've determined that I can't kill you, you kill you.
we'll go force ballista.
Okay.
If you thought for a moment that you could get all of them in that shot, and I would have to take a little bit of damage, I would say frickin' do it.
I mean,
The fire one's only 15 feet.
It's only 15
Yeah.
feet, so I'd have to be right up on them. Whereas the
Yeah.
Force Ballista can probably shoot the one in the back if I want to. Anyway, Force Ballista. It's also
pony.
precise, and it's going to be a handheld version.
Okay.
That has legs, and it's going to be a turret on my shoulder as
Okay.
per
right.
standard operating
Yep.
procedures.
Yep. That's your
And
action.
That's my action, and the bonus is to shoot the bastard that popped out of the wall right behind me.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll.
A nat 20. How about that?
Welcome to the party, pal. All right.
Willkommen.
Roll to hit. Or roll,
Roll-
damage. Sorry, please. Thank you.
Roll damage. Roll damage.
Damage.
We're rolling the double dice, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, bringing up the damage.
No, you're fine.
Ugh. Electric cannon, force ballista. 2d8, so 4d8. Woo! $20 damage.
Nice. And that is the one directly in front of you?
Yep, the one directly in front of me, the one that's pulled out of the wall right behind me.
Beefy boy that pulled out right behind
This
you.
guy right here.
Yeah, no. Slams into its midsection, it kind of falls back down and forward. The jaw muscles where its face are flex, tightening the teeth, but you don't hear any sound come from it. Right. That's a good round for Jyotis. Now it's two of their turns. The first one that is near Lolly is going to come up and play.
Come out and play.
All right. Lolly, what's your AC?
13.
What was that?
13.
Oh, cool. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Get multi-attack
For me or for you?
for me.
Actually, I have a quick question, Bob.
What?
It's on the Force Ballista. It says pushing up to 5 feet. Is that like if I choose to push it, or is that just it pushes them 5 feet when I hit?
You can push them up to 5 feet.
Right.
That doesn't double on a crit. Do you want to push it?
I know that. I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if it's I have to push it or I can push
No,
it.
you can push it. That's
Okay.
how I roll it anyways. You're an artificer. You can hit him
No,
to push him or hit him to hit him.
I do not want to push him closer to Latham. I don't want to push him away from Lestrin.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right. So it's coming in first with a claw.
The claw.
That's going to hit. And then let's see. Then it's going to try to hit you with one of its tentacles from the shoulder. That's probably a miss. Yeah, it's definitely a miss. Okay. So, Lolly, it gets you with a claw first. You take 9 points of slashing damage
Okay.
as it claws you. Just as one of the tendrils from its other shoulder are coming around to grab you by the head, you manage to move your head just in time as it kind of comes through the air. And again, those teeth give that like flex, but no sound. And then Latham, your little buddy, is going to also do a claw and a tentacle on you. Latham, what's your AC currently?
AC 14.
Hit. And then let's do tentacle. That's cocked. Okay. Yeah, that's a hit. Okay. All right. Latham. Okay, the claw does almost nothing. You get hit for 6 points of slashing damage as it kind of comes in and puts its claw mostly on your shoulder, almost like it's trying to grab you. Then the tendril from the front, the tendril from the right shoulder comes over and grabs around your abdomen, reaching around you. You take some bludgeoning damage. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
So 6 plus 7?
Yeah. And then it gets worse. You're going to take some psychic damage because that that tentacle has this like thrum as you are now considered grappled. You take, wow, I rolled really crappy. 2 points of psychic damage. And then, as a bonus action, I am so sorry. Latham is the one who's the most frightened here, and this is what's going to happen to him. The lamprey's jaw widens as the head gets closer, and it is going to attempt to devour your face.
Oh my!
No four.
So let's see. Yeah. Your AC is 14.
At the moment, unless at least that's what it says on my thing. I don't know if the dive suit has any AC
No,
to it.
dive suit doesn't have any extra armor, so because you went with the light armor model, so yeah, okay. So your head is now inside of its mouth, and you're gonna take. Let's roll some damage again. All right, you're going to take a total of 10 points of piercing damage, and then 7 points of acid damage. So a total of 17. As it is basically spilling saliva over your head that is melting you, all while the jaw, the teeth are piercing into your skull and neck, trying to bite your head off. You are considered grappled.
Okay.
It is then,
1 second, let me see.
because your movement speed is 0, it is going to wall climb with you.
Oh God!
15 feet up the wall.
Ah!
So it and you go this way. Like it's just climbing up the wall with your head in its mouth. That's its turn.
Does hold on a second. Let me see if Hellish Rebuke requires.
Oh, you can try Hellish Rebuke on it. I get a
mean,
save, but
Yeah, Dex 15 save. I'm trying to see if I do have to. I guess I'll yell something somewhat muffled inside.
yeah, no, you can still yell. It's just
It's going to be a whole string of curse words as I summon this Hellish Rebuke.
Is it a Dex or
15.
Constitution save?
Dex.
Okay.
This, what is
No, it fails. It fails its dexterity saving throw because
Yes.
your head is in its mouth. So the source of anger and spiciness.
Fuck you so bad. I'm at 14th health, by the way.
Oh no!
9 and 8, so a total of 17 fire damage.
Okay, yeah, no, that's goodly amount of fire damage on this guy. So that's number 2.
So
that was
my head is
17 or 13 fire damage. Sorry,
17 fire damage. So my head is in its mouth, and it suddenly like burns momentarily in flames.
Yeah, no, there's just a
And me and my arm like flailing about.
yeah, no, and there's black marks down like all of its throat, and you see like some of the fire go through that semi-translucent white body. Like it looks pain.
Does his special abilities increase that damage?
No,
Darn.
no. He can roll a grapple check next turn if he wants to escape, and it would need to roll a grapple check to keep him grappled. Technically, with that, it is now. Let's see. It's now actually Latham's turn.
All right.
Do I grab a dagger and try to shank it since I'm that close?
I don't know what you want to do. It feels pretty dangerous, like it's trying to saw your head off. So
Yeah. I guess we're going to.
Cut yourself out.
Throw
Use a
yourself
balance
into a
and-
bag of holding and then pull yourself out again.
Yeah.
Hey, that worked.
eventually,
I didn't die.
I mean, it worked for you, but that bag is a little bit further away. And
It is. It's on my back.
what you doing, buddy?
Latham's frantic and can't think very well. I'm going to try to break out of the grapple. He's not
Okay.
very strong, but this is
You
reaction
can-
or his.
Yeah, no, but in the meantime, you can use. I'll accept either acrobatics or athletics to try to break the grapple.
Okay, we're gonna go with. I think acro. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's have a roll off. Oh,
16.
No. I rolled a 19 on the dice plus
All right
4.
then.
So
It's
your action,
12
you
plus
feel
4.
like you're starting to split that thing out of you, but for every tooth you pull out of your neck, another one crunches into the back of your head, and you just can't make any distance on this.
All right. I should use that as a bonus action. I'm cursing at the damn thing from inside of his face because I'm just yelling and unsettled words. So I'm gonna put on it.
Oh, that's probably a lifesaver for you. So, okay, unsettling words. I have to reduce by what, D6 or D8?
D8.
Okay, perfect. All right, duly noted. Okay, that's Latham's round. It is then the third gentleman's round. No, wait. Yeah, because Lester and Gary were surprised and Lolly was surprised too. That's why Lolly doesn't get to go, because she was surprised. So it's now number 3, which has been really aggravated by the fact that it got shot. 6. But I don't think it can reach who it wants to reach. So it's going to go instead towards Gary. Because Gary's eatable edible. Gary, what's your AC currently?
17.
Okay. All right. Again, coming in with a bite and a tentacle. Bite is, or the claw is a hit. Tentacle is a miss. So,
Tell me, would shield help stop
it's going to
the
be a
bite?
total of 6 points of damage from the claw, and that's it.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to sacrifice a spell for that. Like you with your fighter prowess, you know how hard it's going to hit you. It's going to suck a little bit, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I'll hold off on that then.
Yeah. No,
I have a couple of things that I would rather do with that spell slot.
Yeah, no, I rolled shit on its slashing damage, so you only take 6 points of slashing. It misses with its own tentacle attack. And then it would be the dwarves' turn, but they are surprised as well. No, it would be Lolly's turn first, but she's surprised. Dwarves' turn, they're surprised. Top of the round, Gary, your turn.
All right. So first things first, I'm going to introduce this person to Astra and Odium.
Uh-huh.
Intimate introductions.
That sounds... Oh, no.
Yeah, it's going to be quite... that's a 19 on the die, so that's going to be a 27 to hit.
That hits.
Yeah. Ooh, max damage. So 10 points of slashy damage.
Nice.
Second attack. Yeah, that one's probably not going to hit. Does a 10 hit?
No.
Alright, let's bring Odium around. That one... 16?
16 hits.
Alright. And that one's going to be for 6 damage.
Okay. Can you give me... What was the first hit? Sorry.
Oh, it was 10. It was max damage.
Oh, nice. Okay. That one's starting to look pretty rough. From Jyotis's blow, obviously broke some bones, and then you introduce it to the pointy ends of Astra and Odium, at least one each, and it's now starting to look pretty bruised and bloodied.
Okay, well, then I'm going to hit it with my action surge.
Are you sure you want to use that in the first fight in a dungeon?
No, but I also want to get to Latham as quickly as possible.
Got it. Okay. All right. I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah.
That's a big button. And
Yeah, if we can get a short rest somewhere, that would be great, but I don't want Latham to be eaten while I'm trying to make this person go away. So, I'm going to go with Latham one more round. and I'll hold off on that for the moment. And then if he has not broken free on his next turn, then I'll do whatever I need to.
Okay.
Dwarves nearby.
Right. Lots of dwarves. Okay.
The cavalry.
One of them's
Eventually.
kind of a badass.
All right. So, Lestrin, with that, the cavalry, it is your turn.
Yep, I'm gonna
Two of them
here.
are badass.
Move right
Sorry.
there.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to throw a hand axe at it.
All right. Would you like to rage first, or do you just want to throw?
I'm gonna rage first.
All right. No worries.
16, 17, 24.
Yeah, you hit. Easily.
I figured. Hey, that's cocked, but I'll take it. D&D Beyond. That's 10 damage for the one.
Okay. All right. And you used your bonus action to rage. Did that. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Good round. That one also is starting to look pretty rough because between being cooked from the inside out like a microwave and then also your hand axe finds purchase right in the lower part of its belly and thwacks into it with a nice satisfying shunk. You feel like you're getting there on that one. Okay. With that, we have Jyotis. You're next.
All right. I assume my crossbow is. I'm using my crossbow like it's my firing focus,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna use a firebolt, and I'm gonna shoot the one that is trying to eat my friend.
Okay.
I think
right.
I'm in range. Am I in range? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
4,
you should be in
5,
range.
6, 7, 8. Yep, I'm in range.
I'm not worried about it.
And that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Oh, totally hits. Easily.
Yeah, it's going to take 2d10 fire damage.
Uh-huh.
It takes math. Sorry. 13 damage.
Yeah, nice. Sun's getting real low.
And that
Okay,
was my
hold on a second.
On my face.
that
What was
was
that?
Which way attacking?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
he-
attacking the one that's trying to eat you. That was
Yeah.
my action attack, and then I have my
Yeah.
bonus action attack. So I'm going to bonus. As much as I want to shoot the one that Garrett's on, I'm going to shoot the one that is trying to eat my friend.
Yeah, if I see you aiming at the one that I'm dealing with, I was like, I'll handle it. Go after that one.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The force. I'm like telling my force ballista that one over there.
What's your range on the force ballista? Just to check.
Where? Oh,
It's at
Need to
least
open the
60
page.
feet, isn't it?
it's pretty far. I think. I want to say it's over.
Yeah, I want to say it's at least 60, but I just wanted to make sure.
Force ballista range 120 feet.
Yeah. You're good.
So
Roll.
yeah, a nat 20. Man, this ballista is just like I'm gonna
The
fuck the place
ballista's like, I
up.
want to snipe. Bob, don't kill anyone.
Jesus.
All right.
Right, so
What's the minimum damage on that?
it's 48 plus 5. So it'd
Yeah,
be
it's dead.
59.
Latham, you are going to take some fall damage as you are falling 10 feet because it basically dragged you 5 feet to the wall, then climbed 10 feet. You take
Sorry,
1d6 of fall damage, which is 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall. But when Jyotis hits it, Jyotis's blow blows the head off of the torso, and you fall. And the body falls separately from you. The head is still like wrapped around you, like the world's worst Hawaiian lei that you've been receiving
God.
because it's all burned and crispy and toothy. But you're alive and on the ground.
That was 3 fall damage.
Yeah, 3 fall damage.
All right.
Ugh.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to just move this off to the side because it wants to delete 2 at once, and I don't want it to. Don't do that. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. You
Okay,
give it
there
like 4.
But yeah, you did it. You lived. All right.
Hooray, celebrate.
With that, we have the one that is fighting Lolly currently. So, Lolly, yours is going to attack you again. All right. The claw misses, but the tentacle hits. And so, Lolly, you are going to be grappled, and you're going to take some damage. First off, let's do the bludgeon. 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Again, I'm rolling really shit for their damage, unless it's Dan.
Yay!
And then...
Unless it's Dan.
Celebrate, good times come on.
And then 7 points of psychic damage.
Uh,
And then it, too, is going to try to devour you, because it's got you in a tentacle.
why not?
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. So, I get to roll for this one. Oh, but it's with advantage because you're grappled. So the first one was really bad. The second one hit. So once again, Latham, you have a front row seat from your bottom to Lolly's head getting engulfed as this thing uses its height above her with that tentacle wrapped around her neck, and it just comes down hard on her head. And then Lolly, you are going to take... no. Okay, Lolly, you take 10 points of piercing damage, and then...
Oh, and then...
9 points of acid damage as it begins to melt your face off. Again, totally silent, too, as it's just biting, crunching, and melting you. And then it, too, is going to start moving with you. Because it can. It's got you grappled, so it's going to go 15 feet back. So it's going to go 5, 10, 15 there.
No.
And you go with it. And then that's its round.
Put that away. No. Too real.
Well, I have good news for you, Lolly. It's your turn.
Great news.
Yeah,
You're
Lolly,
strong.
you are grappled and in its mouth. What would you like to do?
Isn't she taller than that damn thing?
When she's hunched, no. But when she's upright, a little bit.
Can you preemptively cast Spare the Dying on yourself? No, I have 2 HP. This
Oh,
is a
God.
joke. You did a lot of damage, and I went 2
Oh.
rounds without anything.
Did you heal when we took our short rest?
Yeah.
I did 7 points of damage to you with my claw in the first round.
Yeah, and then you did a whole bunch more.
Oh, that's true. Devour does hit pretty freaking hard. It hits like a champ. You do not want your face in that thing's mouth.
Too late for that now.
Might get to roll that different character after all.
Okay.
Ooh,
Brain
I hope
time.
not.
Big brain time.
Damn it, I don't have a say.
So there's no water in this area? We're
No
just
water
walking
in this
around?
area. Yeah, it's literally just dragging you towards a wall.
Darn, I don't know. Shoot, I'm gonna have to burn a spell on myself, y'all. Alright, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
That's sensible.
3d8 plus 4.
Damn, 3d8. Awesome.
Yeah.
7, 8.
Using a higher spell.
So I get 15 points back.
Warlocks always do.
Nice.
Yeah.
they upcast to their highest possible spell slot every time.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Beautiful.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's one of the things I really like about them.
you got 15 points back.
Uh-huh. And I don't think I can do anything else.
Do you have any bonus actions?
Nope.
You can try to break the grapple.
You could probably, yeah. Can't you try to grab?
That's an action.
Oh.
Yep.
Dope.
Yeah. Nope, I just gotta get my face munched on for a couple of rounds.
Hey, I have a reaction. Can I use a reaction on her? Or no, that's myself only. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay.
No.
You know what? I'm gonna Healing Light for 2 more d6. Just to
Okay.
get something in there.
Okay.
4 and 5. Oh, good. Thanks, you two dice.
Was it 2 ones?
No, it was 5. 5
Ah,
points.
well,
Still
that's
better
at
than
least
nothing.
less bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
up to half at least.
Yeah.
Alright, that's my turn.
Okay. Well, on your turn, the dwarves get to go. So
Hey!
Ooh.
this one can actually reach it. So it's coming in for 2 attacks, trying to just exit a question. And it manages to miss both times. Oh, that's not good. Second one, coming in for extra help.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 hits. So let's do some damage now. That's pretty good damage. Okay. It comes in and just beats it twice over the head with that. Doyle looks at it, takes out what looks like a hand axe that has some runes on it, whispers something, and then yeets it. That's a good hit. That's a bad miss.
That's a bad mace.
Oh, shit. You see that axe come swirling in. Well, Lolly doesn't, but the rest of you watch as a axe goes perfectly strikes it in the neck, does critical damage to it, and then pulls out and returns back into his hand. And he's going to rush up also.
Yes.
This is Doyle?
This is
Yeah,
Doyle.
Doyle. Yeah.
Oh, Doyle rules!
Fuck it shit up.
Alright.
Doyle rules.
I have a great deal more respect for him now, aside from some old cranky bastard.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
no, he's
Two things.
not just an old cranky bastard. The old cranky bastard. This dwarf back here with the explosives is going to take a crossbow shot at it. That's actually a hit. Little bit more damage to it. So that one's looking rough. So that's the good news. That one's looking rough. This dwarf down here is going to try to double move, and I'm going to make an athletics check for him for a charge. Oh yeah. He's able to at least make it to you to try to give you advantage. He's just not able to attack on his round because his armor is a little bit clunky, but he reaches down and gets right next to you, trying to set you up for a better hit on yours. With that is end of the round, top of the round. Gary, your turn first.
I'm going to nod my thanks and attack with advantage.
Yes, not.
So that the first roll is definitely not going to make it. Does a 15? No, a 16 hit.
Yes, 16 hits.
All right. Minimum damage of 5.
Okay.
Second attack is definitely going to hit with 24.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a hit.
And for the 6 damage,
Okay, well, still something.
Alright.
You're chipping away at it, so
and then Odium. Bonus
Yeah.
action. Come on, caution. Natural fucking 20.
well, there it is.
Well, there it is. Alright. Let's see what we can do with this offhand attack. Oh, for fuck's sake. 8.
Okay. All right. Still hurts.
Yeah, I rolled a 1 and a 3. Just
Gross. All right. Well, good round, Gary. Next up, Lestrin.
Okay.
You have one fighting Gary. Gary's winning. One nomming Lolly that is getting beat to hell because it picked the dwarven age.
Wally's okay because she's being defended by the other dwarves.
I mean, I'm in someone's mouth, but otherwise, yeah.
I'm gonna go for Lolly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got this one.
Javelin.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can yeet a javelin. It's at disadvantage due to the range.
Oh, I rolled the same both times. A 16.
Yeah, hit.
Solid roll.
9.
Okay.
It's too far away for lightning.
I need to pull up the calc. That one's health. Because it's getting real low. Yeah. Okay.
1 second. Nope, that's it. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Good round. Jyotis, your turn.
All right. Well, I'm a little ways from. I think I'm still in range, but I'm going to run closer anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to firebolt the one that's trying to eat my other friend.
Yep. All right. Go ahead and roll.
And that is a 19 to hit.
Hits.
Yay, 2d10 fire damage. This time it takes 19 damage.
Jesus.
Fire.
You want to do this?
I want it to explode like hit it in the heart and then it just explodes in fire like from there out.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Lolly, you're an involuntary attendant to a fish fry.
Yes.
As literally you're inside the thing that gets fire roasted. I'm not making you take any damage, but you feel the heat from that firebolt as it digs through the flesh from the side, reaches the creature's heart, detonates, blows chunks of it everywhere. Everyone in the diving suits is fine, but you're not in a diving suit, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's my action.
Well, that's yeah. That one, it dead.
Woo! All right.
Thank
So-
you.
She wasn't off the floor that time, right? Or did she take fall damage or no?
No, she didn't take fall damage. It was
Good.
dragging her towards the wall and away from others.
Oh, good. All right. Now he's just gonna pet the cannon on his shoulder and point towards the one at Garret. It's gonna shoot a force shot at that guy.
Roll.
And it is a dirty 20 to hit.
Hit.
2d8 force. $11 damage.
Okay. All right. It's hurting.
And that is my turn, I believe, because I moved and I shot and I'm bonused.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, next up we have the only one left that's fighting Gary. And it looks plenty pissed at you, Jyotis.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to turn around and try to vomit some acid on you because it is really tired of that shit.
Stop shooting me, fucker.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. At disadvantage due to range. Oh my god, 2 16s on the dice. Well, Jyotis, You, sir, are the proud recipient of 11 points of acid damage and are now coated in a digestive fluid that will continue to damage you, but you can remove it as an action.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will try to make one last claw attack at Gary in desperation and just scratch his armor. And no. It gives a mournful, low-frequency howl. Like a...
Oh, no.
No.
And that's the end of its round.
No.
Next up, we have Miss... I believe it's Lolly's turn. Lolly, you have freshly come out of a fish fry. No, it's Latham. Sorry.
I don't think I went last round. Anyway.
Latham.
Eeny, meeny, miny. I'm still somewhat disoriented, but looking up at the other creature, yelling at it. I'm going to curse at it continually. Can I make a Wiz 15 saving throw?
Yep. Nope.
Then it will take... Ooh, max on both rolls. 8 psychic damage.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
disadvantage on attack rolls until its next turn.
Hey, Latham, how do you want to do this?
Yes! Crushed is free.
Your words are literally so crushing that it's gonna die.
I mean, so is it Abyssal?
Yeah, they speak Abyssal.
Ooh.
I'm trying to remember if I do though.
You
Yes.
do. You have that language.
So I'm in Abyssal, and that's language like mother tongue. So it just sounds horrendous to everyone else because it's just a whole bunch of like equivalent of "fuck you, you piece of shit," and like completely like out of passion, not really in any way his normal eloquence, not anything particularly cunning, just rage, having just his face bitten off.
Yeah.
And the mind just kind of goes blank and the eyes go dark and it collapses.
Yeah. No, it hears the language, it overwhelms its synapse functions, and it dies.
Eyes roll back. No, it doesn't have eyes, really, does it?
They don't have eyes.
Okay.
There are no eyes on these things. Instead, from Latham, especially because of your passive insight, from what you gather, these things communicate by their jaw movements and body language, actually. They may even have a more refined telepathic communication. The sound that one that Gary was dealing with made, it was alerting.
Mm-hmm.
It was what?
Alerting.
Alerting.
I
Sounding
thought
out.
so.
Letting off a low frequency alert before it died.
The bucket went down the well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah. And with its death, Doyle is like scrambling over to help get bits off of Lolly and is just on the like, we need to get out of the coral area now.
Oh, yeah, these things crawled out of the wall.
Back up to that closed off dome.
Hmm?
The sealed door where we were up here.
Oh, yeah, up there.
See if we can seal ourselves in there.
Open that door.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is now
We can-
like the dwarves are just sprinting.
By the way, while I'm doing this, I'm like brushing that shit off of me.
Yeah, you can take an action to do that and still
Oh
move.
my gosh, Jyotis, you saved my life! And I run up and hug him.
And Jyotis, you do
Burning
take 3
stuff.
points of acid damage at the beginning of your turn as it does melt into you, but
Fair,
you're then able
fair.
to brush it off.
3
And then I come
points.
running up covered in the goo and all the fiery ichor and charred.
Slightly smelling okay because it's fried fish.
Yeah, it's a fish fry.
You smell like fried fish, Lolly.
Ew, I just smell cake.
That's good.
That's
I'm having
probably for
calamari
the
next
best.
time.
Yeah, Doyle's shouting out with the like, move, move, move! And he's even going to come over to this wall and basically hold action as the last people cross this.
Oh yeah, do we want to close this door?
He's
Yes,
going to attempt to.
Yeah.
He's telling you, get to that next door! I'll get this
Alright.
one!
All right.
Lestrin, you coming with them, or are you holding the, like... Oh, sorry, I forgot one dwarf. Sam, are you muted?
What? Huh?
We're moving.
We're running.
Tokens on the board time.
Sorry.
Because Doyle was screaming to get out of the coral area because when the last one was about to die, it gave off a low frequency. The only sound these things have made, it was a low frequency, like... And
Red flare, run!
yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, the second that Lestrin gets through, Doyle yanks the controls, and I need to make a check for him. Oh, that's not good. They start to close, and it... And it closes, but it was loud.
Uh-huh.
And you see him turn to the other dwarves, and in Dwarvish, he screams out, "Check your artillery! Get fucking ready!" Jyotis!
Mm-hmm. Trying the door.
Yep, you already made your investigation check. You can open it at any time.
Opening it. You all ready for whatever's on the other side?
No.
Yeah.
It's empty. We're going to get washed in.
Well, I assume if it is pressurized, it would do the auto pressure thing.
You'd think.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Auto pressure thing. Should we try and lure them in and then hit the pressure button? Can we do that from here?
I mean, they look like fish people to me. I bet they have a swim speed like I do.
Yeah, but to change it so quickly.
There's no time!
Oh,
Let's go.
Door.
Yeah, so... This time, instead of filling with water or doing something else different, it's cold air leaking out.
Ooh, interesting.
And this time, when the door opens, it's almost like it slides down into the floor in front of you.
ooh.
And what unfurls is, frankly speaking, its own unique horror show. In this room, there are dozens of merfolk bodies that look like they've been experimented on, hooked on to what can only be described as a sick, twisted sense of humor for fishing lines that have all been perched. And none of them look immediately active. All of them look in various stages of decay, but it's like the room has been kept absolutely cold. There is also a singular brain in a jar in this room. But this jar is much bigger than the others. And despite this brain being of a humanoid subject, this jar is at least 5 feet tall. This one's more elegantly drafted. Small little patterns across it. The chill in this room, it would be difficult to stay in here for a long rest. Potentially you could stay for an hour. It's like the large freezers of a store where you can do it. You can take a short rest in here should you choose. There's lots of... Well, they might be dead merfolk.
Mm-hmm.
The only other option is to go back where we first came in.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Let's
a lot of
hide
good
out.
options.
Let's hide out here for a while. See if things will cool off. Figuratively.
Yeah, I guess
Going
we can
in.
try to hide in here. Although, this setup is crazy.
I don't disagree, but we're not exactly flush with options. Come.
Okay.
We'll manage.
Can I? I don't know. Would it be an Arcana check to see if that brain is like aware and manipulating stuff magically?
Ooh, that's interesting. That's exciting. Let's roll an Arcana check.
On
I'm
the
not
big
yet
brain.
trained. Can I roll anyway?
I'd accept that, Gary. You're an Eldritch Knight.
Jyotis rolled a.
That's another nat 20.
Jesus. Jyotis rolled a 24.
Different die.
24.
Okay.
I got a 23 because of the nat.
Well, you two are just making up for all the damage that I do to poor Latham and Lolly. You two recognize, more importantly, that there's Arcana runes on the brain itself. So the other brains in that room looked like they had been stored, possibly experimented on. None of you made medicine checks because none of you are trained, and the one person who tried had to well, none of these people need representation.
I wonder if they had
There's
life
so much
insurance
more that they
policies.
need.
What was that
And-
again?
I have no idea.
Oh, sorry.
I was being clever, but
Oh, I didn't hear it.
what I
Darn
said.
it. Anyway.
There is possible activity from that brain. It's not moving. It's not trying to talk or grow eyeballs or anything like that. But there's just that sense and semblance between those Arcana symbols actually written on it that appear active, and the fact that this one's in a much bigger jar than normal.
Would I know if that was a thing with illithids, or
No.
did they
I'm
have
sorry.
brain computers?
I mean-
So here's the thing, Lolly. You regard them as
No,
boogeymen?
strictly from my perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
So from Lolly's perspective, you regard them as boogeymen. You don't know much about them. This would be an exciting opportunity to learn.
Okay.
Teachable moment.
I don't know if exciting is the right word to use.
Again, this is the size of a humanoid brain. It's just in a much bigger jar. It is. DM Bob will confirm for you now. I would never throw level 5s up against an elder brain. That is
Okay.
not something that DM Bob would do.
This is a younger brain.
Oh my god, thank you for crying.
A
in there.
mother brain, if you will. No.
God, love it.
Can
Anyway.
I?
Guys, I think that brain is slightly aware, or at least active somehow.
I want to
Garret, do you
antagonize it so bad.
Please don't.
I don't think that's wise.
Fine.
By the way, I assume everybody's in here. I was going to close the door, right?
Oh no, Lestred!
I assume
Just going to move Lestrin in.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jyotis, you close the door. And Jyotis, when the door seals behind you, you swear with your passive perception that you hear something crawling. And the door seals and you just have that moment.
Spidey senses are going off.
Yeah. Yeah, and now you're in a brain room with
Yeah.
lots of dead merfolk.
Okay, I'm. Would I be able to history check this at all? Have I ever seen anything like this in the
This
lab?
is not like anything. No.
Okay.
Even with your memories returned.
This is-
Excuse me 1 second. I need it.
Save
Sorry
the
about that.
No problem. This is beyond the fucked up things I've already seen.
Illithid brains. Illithids and brains are food. Again, you wouldn't know much about an elder brain because your species was not really taken near those kinds of things.
Right.
No one would be trusted with that. But as far as this thing goes, this is new and weird. And because you're an artillerist and an artificer, you can automatically tell that this is recent. The Arcana runes are in the runic languages for spellcasting that have been active within the last couple millennia. So it's not something that's been like way back from the land of ancients. Like this is not written in any of the deep speech language that they use for its arcane runes.
This is something different. As the rest of the place has been repurposed, like something new and stranger.
Yeah, and you can even tell offhand that this room was never supposed to be a cold room. Someone has made some major alterations here as well.
Right. Well, we might be able to take a short rest here, guys, but when I closed that door, I felt something creepy crawling around. I don't know.
Oh, that was from the outside. When the door closed, you had the ugh.
Oh.
And the door closed.
Outside the room.
Oh, yeah. No, they coming. I rolled high on their perception checks. They were behind you.
So, we might want to try and take a short rest, but I think them things are going to try and break in the room if they don't know how to open it.
You said there were some more of those mer bodies around in this room?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, about 40.
Okay.
Holy cow. Okay.
Yeah, so what do they have their skulls?
Oh, yes. All of them have their skulls. All of them look like their bodies have been modified past death. Again, this room doesn't have water in it, but Jyotis, you would know that there are controls that would let you flood this room. Mm-hmm. And in fact, based on your premonition, rooms like this are made to basically air out and flood. This one's just a cold room. These things are basically cold storage.
We're in a fridge, guys.
And they're literally stored on the equivalent of barbaric fish hooks through their abdomens just to keep them in place.
We're in an ice room, guys. Icebox.
Well, flopping around if it's air out here, so let's just leave it as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
let's try to recover a little bit from that last ordeal and prepare ourselves for whatever comes next.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm mostly fine with that. Although I have a suspicious feeling that they might be waiting for us on the other side when we come out. Or come out.
Leave and go home.
We're supposed to blow this place up.
Well, that's nice, but...
Speaking of which, Doyle has been spending his time in checking this room, and this is a good one to leave a charge in.
Yeah. Should we leave it right under that?
Blow this place up and then leave.
Should we
Not
leave it under
the only place that we need to charge, but one of them.
Let's try and conceal it, yeah? So in case they're searching the place, they don't find it.
He kind of smiles, walks over to one of the merfolk.
Oh no, I know where this is going.
Takes out one of them. Should we set the timer now, or do you want to just, because I assume you want to sit in here for an hour and try to
if we set the timer
off.
If we set the timer now, that'd be bad, right?
You're right. It'd be very bad. And yeah, he's just dwarven fist into the abdomen.
Don't give a shit. Yep.
Sticks it up in there.
Oh, the noise is so much worse than I imagined.
Especially because it's a little brittle from being frozen. Yeah.
Ooh, crunch.
Yuck.
Not for the squeamish, huh? Well, congratulations, kids. You lived on your first encounter with the Quorka. Not many do.
That was a Quorka. Those 3 things.
Those 3 things. Scouts.
Are we
many
officially
more are you
taking a
looking for?
rest? Because I could give Latham a little bit more health.
Yeah.
I think we should officially try and take a long rest, or short rest.
Is this place
If-
safe to take a rest?
Dan,
There's
you're
no
like a
safe
million
place.
miles away from your mic again. I can barely hear you.
fine. Is this a place that's safe to take a rest?
Doyle kind of looks for a second at Latham and just, I don't think there's a safe place in here, but if I had to guess, it's not any worse than the others, and there's not any holes for Quorka to get through.
Cool.
And when he mentions that, Jyotis, you get a flashback to that tunnel when you were first coming down, how you counted off these just bigger than 1-inch holes every so often coming down that tunnel.
Oh, yeah. So can these things fit through a hole that's the size of their head or even smaller?
1 inch.
What the hell?
That's all they need.
Oh,
They don't have any
God.
bones? Or what? Is it cartilage? What the hell?
They are an abomination from what other people have identified them to be. From what I know, you're looking at something that's a mixture of octopus, starfish, and lamprey grafted into a triton.
Wow. So they're constructed almost? They're not born?
Gross.
Now
Maybe.
they're born.
They're born. Yow.
They were
Okay.
manufactured. Brute force.
Damn. Are there other forms?
Gods, I hope not.
Oh, they're so unnatural.
It's intriguing, though.
By the balls
That's
of
not the
bellows,
word I
let's
would
hope
use.
they don't have any more forms. That's the only kind I've ever seen.
How many do you expect would be patrolling a place like this?
Well, this place is weird. Normally we find small groupings of them. Between 5 to 18 at most. More often than not, at least half of them are out hunting. They're constantly hungry. They tend to only keep a few on site. But that one let off a call before we killed it. That's the home call. They're all coming home.
All of them coming home? Oh, God.
However many there are, they're coming here.
Again, just going to put in my vote for a swim away.
Okay, that's cool. How long do you think it'll take them to come back?
Difficult to tell. Could be hours. Quorka are not normally capable of sharing space with other species. This is weird. I was getting weird feelings when we saw the chol outside and the squid. They would hunt and kill those things. Those are food.
You mean the Quorka would kill them typically?
Yes.
Interesting. It's almost like something
Like someone.
trolling them.
And he kind of looks back at the brain and is like, better not fucking be you.
Well, if it is, it's gonna go bye-bye.
When you say that, Jyotis, one of the other dwarves, their eyes roll back and it's just, it's not me.
Why
Hello.
do that?
I wasn't commanded to. I do what is commanded.
Are you
Who
the...
commanded
Oh,
you
no.
to speak?
Arcana?
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Okay. 22. Specific.
It's using a
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Tell me what you specifically want. I will not cut you off.
Well, I was wondering if it's specifically being psychically controlled, I guess?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's using a compulsion effect to speak through him.
Yeah. So it's not like the Visalite.
No.
Okay.
Are you the command center for the defense of this place?
Only merfolk. I got weakened. You killed a lot of my folk. Can barely keep tabs on what I got left.
I mean, in fairness, they did try to kill us first.
Sorry. It's my job.
Can we, speak to your manager about your job? Because it doesn't seem like this good job.
Wait a minute.
You can try.
Wait a minute. What? Were you once a humanoid?
I'm not sure. It didn't leave a lot of memories.
You're speaking with a dwarvish accent.
That's because I'm speaking in a dwarvish brain.
Oh. Interesting.
I felt that if I invaded one of your brains, you'd immediately attack me. And right now, since I'm stretched a bit thin, I'd likely die.
Is there going to be any damage or permanent problems to him for you taking control?
No. Normally I'd speak through the merfolk, but they're all on ice right now.
Yes.
Right.
I'm curious.
What
Do you
are
know
the... You go first, Garret. You go first, Garret.
Do you know why all of these creatures are working together?
Yes.
Would you please tell us?
Boss won't be happy about it. Roll a persuasion check.
Mm-hmm. How's a 16 sound?
Pretty fucking persuasive. I rolled a 1.
I love it.
Yeah. The boss, he's weird, scaly, big, works for something above him. Calls himself the leader of the Amethyst Coil.
See, you on tea?
No. Not Snake. Scalier. Angrier.
Do you know what city it's in?
He's here.
How close here?
He's down here right now.
Of course. Never leaves his chamber.
Does he have
Always
access to you?
working. When he wants.
What were the few memories that you said you have left?
Sailing. Salt. A woman. Drowning. A light. And then here. I can see, taste, feel through other things. Not myself.
Right.
You don't remember
Would you
his
like-
name?
No. First thing taken, procedure.
Would you like us to take you with us? If that's possible.
Roll persuasion.
Persuasion. Jyotis is not persuasive. It's an 11 on the dice, and it's an 11 persuasion.
I'll roll. Could always roll a 1 again. I'm designed to serve a purpose now. I stay to serve a purpose. But if an end came, that'd be alright. It's not my job to stop the end. It's just my job to patrol.
Very well, then. And Jyotis leans to Garret and he says, remember the dwarves that we were supposed to look for and save?
Hmm?
Well, they said we probably wouldn't be able to save them because it'd be too long.
Right.
I wonder if he's one of them.
Possibility.
The captain.
May I ask you another question?
We have time.
What can you tell? Can you tell me the layout of this place?
Yes.
Do you know that? Oh, good. Then I would like very much to sit down with.
Got my crayons.
Just. Yeah, I'll dig out Lolly's crayons. I don't care, and just draw up.
Can I enter your mind?
Her magical crayons.
Ooh, direct interface.
Yeah, moment.
And it was nice of him to ask before just doing.
Exactly. And I'm
Sorry,
going to do my best to prepare myself.
Sorry.
Let me try to prepare myself a little bit and give permission.
Alright, so Gary, it feels like a cold tendril coming into the back of your mind. And it just instantly, it's like a plunge into the deepest, coldest water you've ever gone into. It feels like you're dying for a second. It feels like you've forgotten that you have lungs, like you have eyes, anything else. But you see in glorified detail everything about this place. And I'm uploading it into the chat now. But congratulations, you get the DM map.
Alright.
Can't tell you where all the enemies are, but can tell you the layout.